Hello everybody, my name is Python and welcome back to the 22nd episode here of Pythoncraft. I have been a busy little bee since the last episode, my friends. I've got myself a whole bunch of glass placed down above where all the guardians are going to wind up spawning in for our guardian farm. But here's the thing, this glass is not going to stay. We're actually going to wind up replacing it with a properly solid block. The reason we need solid blocks and not see-through blocks is because apparently by having solid blocks you will be able to vastly increase the spawn rate of guardians. You might be wondering why I've got this big old wall of sand going on, and that is because once I dig out all of the prismarine in the surrounding walls here, the sand that we now have placed down should be able to fill all of the spaces, which is why, as you can see over there, it sort of goes up, sort of in line with how the prismarine goes up over there. And finally, you might be able to see we've got ourselves a layer of sandstone placed down, and that is going to be the limit for our guardian water spawning areas of awesomeness. So what we're going to do to start off today's episode is we're gonna head down beneath the sandstone with our sponges, with our water breathing potions and invisibility potions that I've made since the last episode. We're gonna get ourselves down there. We're gonna start draining out the bottom of this spawning area. Ultimately, the goal for today's episode is to have the actual guardian farm, the functional aspect of it, complete. Having this guardian farm complete finally will mark a pretty major turning point for the series, because not only will we have infinite access to things like sea lanterns and prismarine, maybe even dark prismarine if we go to the efforts of, you know, slaying a bunch of squid, but we'll also have access to a whole heck of a lot of XP. It's going to be fan-freaking-tastic. I'm very much looking forward to it, and I know that you folks have been as well. So then, if we're going invis mode, we need to go nearly naked mode as well. So we're going to have to put away our armor. Let's grab ourselves out these here potions. Get ourselves some invis going on. Little bit of water breathing going on. Chuck those two away. We're going to wind up breaking this and place it down a bucket so we can actually, you know, get out of this area. And now we're going to get ourselves down to the bottom. And this is where things are going to get very, very interesting. As you can see, millions of guardians. And that is because this is a dark space. We have a non-transparent block above us here, and as a result, yeah, there's going to be a whole heap of a ton of guardians here. Oh boy. So we're going to see what we can do with our sponge draining. Because this is only a 3-block wide area, it actually makes draining this area out far easier. So then, my friends, as we continue to drain out this area, I just want to say a massive thank you, of course, for all of your lovely support throughout this series. Of course, if you want to continue supporting these episodes and the channel here, do be sure, of course, to drop a like, hit the subscribe button, and don't forget to ding that bell if you don't want to miss out on my future content. And if you do want to go one further with your support, consider checking out pythongb.com/PC if you're in the market for a brand new gaming PC. Alright, so pretty much exactly half of our sponge supply was enough to do an entire lap, so that's not too bad, I guess. And that is the last of the sponges. Right, how many minutes do we have left? Okay, so about 3 minutes to go through and try and pick up all of these sponges now. Alright, that's the last of the sponges. Now we have to go pick them all up. Yikes. And because the water is not in any way stable, it might be a little bit more difficult to pick up all of the sponges than I first thought. But no matter, we're going to do our best. I believe a stack and 30 of sponges is the amount we have. So if we can get them all back, that'd be great. If not, then, yeah, we're just going to have to kind of deal with it because we are just on the cusp of running out of potions. In fact, there they are, starting to flash. Oh, goodness me. This is about to be a big yikes, isn't it? Do you know what? Better safe than sorry. If I have to make more potions, I have to make more potions. I'm not about to die, okay? Hey, there's the last sponge. Lovely. The sponge hunt is complete. And there we go. Right, now we're going to pop to the nether and dry out the sponges. Ah, all that hissing sound. See, if my channel name was actually based off of a snake, then I'd be very, very happy hearing all of this noise. But no, my channel name is actually based off of my favourite gun in Call of Duty Black Ops 1 from back in 2010. So, yeah, I mean, it's still a satisfying sound and a very satisfying process. Going ahead and drying all the sponge in the nether like we can now. And there we go, a stack and 30 of nice dry sponges. Before we head back down to the Guardian area though, I think it'll be a good idea for us to stock up on potions again. Only, you know, these aren't going to last forever, are they? We've even got a second brewing stand set up so we can speed this process along a little bit. That's the water breathing taken care of, and that's the invis taken care of. Yeah, we have 48 minutes worth of both. We are now on the bottom layer of our Guardian death area. There's so many of them, they're all going to be hopping around. Alright, so let's just get the rest of these here sponges placed down. It's possible I might need to drain a few sponges in the nether. I don't think we're going to need to do an entire another sponge pass. But, you know, needs must and all that, right? I just realised something. When we go away from this place to go into the nether, all of these dudes down here are probably going to wind up despawning, right? So maybe we won't have that much trouble after all. Ah, smart thinking. There ain't no party like a Guardian bounce party. Look at them all. Oh, fun times, my friends. I mean, not for them. Their squeaking sounds like they're probably in distress right now, but, you know, they're Guardians. Many a time have they tried to kill me in this series. So, yeah, I don't really have too much sympathy for them right about now, you know what I'm saying? And there we go. We just about have this goal done and dusted. Oh, wait, no, there's a little bit down here, but there we are. That is no issues whatsoever. Right. We're done. So now what we could do is we could start chopping up all of this here prismarine, and we could start lowering the sand walls as well. So yeah, things are looking good, my friends. Things are looking real good. That's a pretty big step achieved right there, my friends. A big step indeed. All right, before chopping up a whole bunch of prismarine, we need to do yet another repair for our pickaxe. However, it's probably going to be the final repair we make before we can reliably, you know, rely upon mending to, you know, mend all of our tools and such here. Very good. Right, so I need an emerald, I need myself a book, I need a mending book, and I'm going to hope that I can put mending on this pickaxe and repair it. Alternatively, we could see if we have a mending pickaxe already. I mean, yeah, that one... Actually, that's not too bad. See, the thing is, we don't really have to worry about having more than one of these Silk Touch Diamond pickaxes, so why don't we just combine these two together? It will kind of skip an entire step then. We don't have to put mending on a pickaxe and then repair it. It will do the whole shaboodle in one just by combining these two. Just gotta hope it only costs 9 levels. 17. Yikes. Okay. Right. I mean, we can get those XP levels just by trading pretty easily, I guess. There you go, buddy. Have some ink sacks and have some books. What are we up to now? 14. Okay, very good. How about you give me some glass? And then I go buy myself some golden carrots from my farmer dude in the trading hall. Come on, buddy. There we go. Fan-dabby-dozy. 17 levels on the dot. You'd love to see it. So here we go, folks. 17 levels. The only possible further upgrade to be made to this pickaxe now is efficiency 5. And that is, of course, going to be something we need if we want to enable ourselves to be able to insta-mine later on with a haste 2 beacon. For now, though, this is very nice. So, with our nice fresh pickaxe, we're going to begin on Operation Dig Out the Rest of the Prismarine. I know, my very creative operation names as per the norm. So, let's get all of this chopped away, shall we? This is going to wind up being just a massive flat platform at the bottom. Oh, hey! Look at this guy! Already decided to take up residence here. Ooh. Wait, do we have these already? I mean, we have a savanna biome not too far away, but mangrove. Ah, we do. Excellent. All right, in which case all of the trades are pretty much useless from that guy. So then, back to the digging, my friends. We're going to wind up with a whole heap more prismarine, aren't we? So it's a good thing I brought with me a couple of shulker boxes. That's right, your boy is actually prepared for once. Alert the media, my friends. This is truly a once-in-a-lifetime thing that happens. All right, that wasn't too bad. And now for the fun part. We're going to drop the sand walls down to their proper level. So we do a little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little bit of this. Oh, dude, this is going to be so satisfying. I mean, look at it. Look at all the sand dropping down. It's so cool, though. All right, so... Oh, wow. That's... Okay. We do seem to be letting in a little bit of a flood here and there, but it's all good, all in all. Yeah, it's all draining away. Real nice, like. But yeah, let's get this thing done, my friends. It does mean that the sort of outside, inside bit there, you know, the bit behind the sand, that is going to be sort of cordoned off for a little bit. But eventually, what we're going to wind up doing is I'm going to put myself a line of sandstone up where this sort of inner sandstone rim is, so we can have the walls still be nicely maintained for the guardian spawning areas, but then, of course, we want to get rid of all of the sand underneath. So, yeah, the sandstone that we're eventually going to place in is going to make it so only half the sand goes away, not all of it. But yeah, for now, back to some more dropping of the sand. Alright, all of the prismarine has now been dug out, and we've put ourselves sort of on the outer inside bit here, so I can actually get out of here. So here we are, the waterfall. All we got to do, break this. We got to go up, up, and away. We're going to replace in this here sandstone, rather like so. Oh, good lord, I'm getting beamified. I'm not about to have none of that nonsense, am I? Nope. There we go. We are out. Now what we're going to do, to try and contain any flooding, I'm going to add a little bit of a cobblestone wall around the sandstone here. So when it comes to me, you know, chopping up the sand, it will allow the water in, but it shouldn't go past the cobblestone and into the center bit, hopefully. I mean, it's not really the end of the world, even if it did do that, but, you know, just for the sake of convenience. But yeah, like I say, once we get the sandstone placed in, which, by the way, is going to be on this bottom level here, then, yeah, we can get rid of all of the sand down below, and then we're going to have ourselves a whole heap of a ton of sand to use for other stuffs. I think, to be honest, though, for the most part, we're just going to wind up smelting it into glass. Only the outer sand walls, I'm thinking of replacing with glass. I think that'd be a pretty good way to go. I mean, we could go for a nice decorated stained glass as well if we wanted to. We could even go for pixel art if we really wanted to, you know? The world is our oyster at the end of the day. So then, the cobble goes away, the sandstone comes back out, as do all of these here potions. Only, you know, by opening up this wall, we're gonna wind up with guardians everywhere. So once again, having to go Operation Naked mode. Let's get ourselves... Wait, we don't need water-breathing potions, I've just realised. I'm being a big old doofus brain. Let's not waste these bad boys, eh? Let's get ourselves invis going on. And then we're going to get ourselves down here. And just for an example, if we were to dig out this... I mean, it's going to take a fair bit. In fact, no, hang on. Since we've got sandstone back there, that makes it quite a lot easier. So, if I was to do the next one, so something like that, then we get the sandstone placed in. I'm just hoping that we don't wind up with a bunch of flooding occurring. So far, though, so good. How long before we get a guardian roll up in here, though? It's only going to be a matter of time. I'm not even worried, though. The guardians will not have the upper hand for too much longer. They're going to be farmed to pieces. It's going to be a good time. I'm actually very much looking forward to having this farm up and running. Even if it doesn't look good at the start, just to have it running, it's going to be so good. It'll be a massive step forward. You know what? This cobblestone rail idea has worked out absolutely perfectly. Brilliant. Okay, so that's one side done. Now that we have a sandstone separator, we should actually now be able to place back in a whole bunch of sand. So let's go ahead. Let's grab out all of this sand. And then we should be able to get rid of all of the water. And actually, we should wind up with a little bit of sand still. Because obviously one row has been replaced by sandstone. All right, so one invisibility potion at 8 minutes long has been just about enough to do one side. So basic maths dictates that the other 3 potions that we have should be enough. Right, one thing I do want to do real quick, I want to make sure I'm not wasting any blocks. So let's make sure we're picking them all up. Just got to fill in these last 2 spaces. And then all of the water should have been drained from the rim. Whoa, look at that. Bye-bye, water. Okay, very good. So that is now one wall done. Very, very good. And now that you get the gist of what I'm doing, perhaps we bring on our camera can and we do a bit of a time lapse, us going through and replacing all of the other walls. And also getting rid of the sand down below via the torch trick. Let's do this thing, my friends. I'm so excited. So let's get this done. My friends, one ginormous time lapse later, and this is what we're now working with. Look at how much space we have to work with down at the bottom here now. Now that we've opened up the underside of the Guardian spawning areas, there's so much space. Like, really, there's a lot of space. Who knows what we're going to fill this up with? That's a legitimate question as well. What do we fill this space up with? I mean, my initial idea was just to have the Guardian farm be our base, and for our base to be a Guardian farm, but we have so much other space to work with. It is ridiculous. We've already had the collective idea, you and me, to have an iron farm as another centerpiece for this area, but what about all of the other space we have to work with? There's just so much of it. Now, I won't lie, my friends, my initial intention was to try and get the Guardian farm entirely done in today's episode. Unfortunately, I am just about out of time to record today's episode, so unfortunately, we're going to have to cut it short. The Guardian farm part will probably be the next episode. In terms of what we need for it, we're going to be needing a whole bunch of trapdoors and then a whole bunch of a specific block or another, so we can start making ourselves all of the little water flows that will eventually go to the center kill chamber. So yeah, lots of resource gathering to be done, but it'll all be worth it in the finish, my friends. Truly, it will be. So, to wrap up today's episode, of course, we have some shoutouts to give. And once again, I'm going to apologize if this has wound up being a shorter than normal episode. It's just another case of lots of recording time that has been compressed into time lapses and big progress updates and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah. Once again, might be a shorter episode, but lots of progress has been made. So I really do hope that you have enjoyed it nonetheless. For shoutouts, we have Mango Plays Game with the 2 buckaroo donations. This is the last episode. And Tony Hamilton with the $2 as well. Thank you very much, you two. I really do appreciate that a lot. And that just leaves the comment of the day, of course. The Real Stav says you realize you could utilize the crafter big time for this build, right? Especially if you made some small alley ink sac farm close by too, if that's possible. It's certainly possible, but oh my goodness gracious, is that going to take a ridiculous amount of time. Like, probably more time than I'm willing to invest, if I'm honest. If I was to make myself a squid farm, it would likely be in a river biome because they are far easier to drain rather than, you know, us doing it in the ocean where there's a hell of a lot more space to drain, isn't there? So I'm not entirely sure about making a squid farm, if I'm being honest, but yes, the crafter most definitely can and probably should be utilized in this farm. We can have maybe one corner of the farm that automatically crafts, I don't know, sea lanterns. Another corner could craft prismarine itself. Another corner could be prismarine bricks. I mean, at the end of the day, the kill chamber is going to be a 2x2 block area, so 4 spaces. So yeah, we could craft 4 different prismarine related blocks at the same time if we really wanted to. That would be so awesome, though, wouldn't it? So every time we slapped around the Guardians, all of their drops go into all of the different hoppers, and all of those different hoppers go into multiple different crafters, and then each crafter crafts something different. I think that'd be amazing. So yeah, let me know what you think of that idea in the comments area down below. But yeah, for now though, my friends, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed today's episode. Drop a like if you have. I'd very much appreciate it. Subscribe if you don't want to miss out on my future content. But for now, thank you so much for watching. Do have yourselves a fantastic rest of your day. And I'll see you folks in the next episode. Bye-bye.